Okay, we're back with another guide here for Star Trek Legacy porting. This one here is to show you how to add breaknodes for the usually used on nacelles on the starships. This will cover basic breaknodes and a few other features. Again, we're using Augusto's Olympic class model. I've already made some modifications to get us in place to do this. Just to make it a little easier to see what we're doing, we're going to turn the skeleton off there. You see basically here is your port engine, which is the left engine. Here is you see the damage mesh inside the port engine once it's hidden, and now that's gone. But now you can see we still say USS Olympic and CC 5316. So that's the third part of oops, that's named wrong. So that's the third part, which is the L logo, left logo. Basically, the names of the parts don't really matter for the engine mesh group and the damage mesh group. Damage meshes are always preceded by in underscore. Otherwise, that doesn't matter. The P underscore is just my choice for port engine, and S for starboard engine. The thing that does matter, the name as well, though, are the port and starboard logos, or the left and right logos. ST logo is your ship's registry, which you see is here, and also on the nacelle pylons are the 4 bits that make that up. ST logo is your main logo entry. R logo and L logo are your entries for use on breaknodes. You can name them something else, but they will then not operate in the game properly. They have to be R underscore logo or L underscore logo, or some variation of capital and lowercase of that, as in all uppercase R logo or all uppercase L logo, to get you additional variations to use. So basically, to create a damage mesh, we need to have the parts we want to have fall away be able to fall away, which we currently have set up there. You'll see here's the starboard engine, starboard damage mesh, and the starboard registries. Now this ship is already partially rigged. And I'll just open the guide up here. Too great. This is your basic hardpoint tree. Starts out with scene root, basic damage. Hardpoints are all under here. Lights are all under lights. Then you have geometry, LOD 0, and Hull 0 is where generally your main mesh groups are attached, such as in this case the F Olympic 1, 2, 3, 4. The NF damage interior and the ST logo should all be attached. To the Hull 0. To create our breaknodes, we will then we will create a hardpoint for the breaknode and attach the engine group, the damage mesh, and the logo mesh for it. Also, if the nacelle happen to have any hardpoints inside it, they would go here instead of on the hardpoints line. If it had any lights attached to it, like on the top or bottom, anywhere associated with that nacelle, they would be also go under this hardpoint rather than the lights hardpoint. Anything on this line will disappear when the damage mesh is, or when the break node is activated. The other feature here is the HBreak1, the HBreak2. Those are used special use hardpoints that allow you to add plasma emitters on destruction, which is a damage effect. So we'll go back here and show our skeleton. See, here's our LOD0, which is where we need to create our new new joint. So we double click on it, and that will select it. Pick joint. Oops, sorry. Pick joint again, and that did not work. It's because I accidentally deselected my joint. So let's go back up to LOD0. Double click on it again. Now click joint. Now you see we got a line coming off. This is going to be our H under P under E engine. This is the name of the break node minus the H underscore. So in the ship's ODF, when we add the break node, we will say the break node is P underscore engine. The next one will be S underscore engine. Now with this joint must be moved to absolute 0, 0, 0. If it's not relocated properly, then at this point, then the engine, whatever is attached to it, will be out of place. Also, you have to prevent it from being spun, so all your future joints that you attach to there, you're going to want to place them ahead of it, and then move them back as well. They will all need to be moved back to 0, but you got to start by moving the parents and then working your way down the line. So if your hardpoints aren't positioned properly, make sure scene root's at absolute 0, H root's at absolute 0, H damage, hardpoints, lights, and geometry are all back at absolute 0. Now we made this new joint. We're going to move it back to absolute as well, and we're going to rename this one to M underscore P underscore engine, and that is our engine mesh. The M underscore is mesh, and then it has to match a mesh name. So there's that one. Now we need to go back to the HP engine, create another joint. You can move it back to absolute, and we're going to name it in underscore P underscore engine. Now we're going to go back again, create yet another joint. This is going to be our M under L underscore logo. One thing with logos as well, let's move it back to absolute 0. The logos must be after anything they're on top of. If I had put the L logo here and the P engine below it, once you were in game, you would see the logo, but you would not see any hull behind it. It'd be transparent. So that would mean your logo mesh is above the other meshes that it's seeing through, or allowing you to see through. So now that basically creates a hardpoint. We now have our P engine, our in damage mesh, and our logo. And that's a working hardpoint with just these 4 hardpoints. Now, if we want to add a plasma emitter, we need to add 2 more joints. Plasma emitter. We need the H underscore break underscore 1 or 01, just to keep it in line with how we do lights. It must be called break, and it must have the underscore and a number after it. It works just like lights do, where the underscore and then number after allows you to create more joints with the same kind of name. Basically, that only works with S's and hardpoints. M joints must be direct references, and then we can move this back to absolute 0 again. It doesn't have to be at absolute 0, but it helps in this case. So now we want to attach a joint to this, and this is going to be our E underscore plasma medium. Unfortunately, the emitter portion of the hardpoint, or of the exporter, is not complete, so we cannot do E underscore plasma med underscore 01. All plasma emitters must be unique names. The only 2 plasma emitters that show up in game are plasma med for medium and plasma large, LRG, for large. So we're forced to use just those 2 emitters in game. Now then, once this break node falls off, you will get a plasma effect streaming out of this hardpoint. So you want it basically right about where the break is, so everything looks like it's expected. So that's basically what it takes to create a break node on a ship. You want the pieces that need to fall away to be separate from the rest of the mesh, and then you want to just go through there and set them up in the hardpoint. And then to set them up in the ODF, you're going to go down here in the ship's ODF, and generally it's nacelles that get the break node, and this is your break node entry. For the engine subsystem, the break nodes are P underscore engine and S underscore engine. You can also only have up to 3 break nodes attached to a single break part. Doesn't mean you only, basically you can have P engine, S engine. They can be any name. It's all based on whatever you call the hardpoint. Stock ones are L engine and R engine for the most part. But you cannot have 4 break nodes, say for the Constellation class, or Cheyenne, ships that have 4 nacelles. You can only break 3 of those off. While you can hardpoint them just fine, you cannot reference them in the ODFs, because once they go to break that 4th hardpoint off, or 4th break node off, the game engine will crash on you. But other than that, I think that pretty much should cover the break nodes.